what are your techniques that you tell people in the corporate environment who want to achieve that state of focus for a period of time, or the flow state, as you beautifully said? What are some of the techniques or lifestyle hacks or protocols that you suggest?
Well, as we kind of beat it to that horse already at this point, resting and eating the right food, those are just preparing your body.
Righto.
And then the mind is literally coming down into why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay.
What is your purpose?
Right.
Right. What you're doing is aligned with your purpose. If you haven't figured it out, that's when I come in and talk to my client. Let's figure it out. What is that you're doing right now, and how is it lining up to that purpose? We need to have that conversation. That is the intention 2.0 kind of conversations. Is I don't want to coach Lubin to be Lubin 1.0.
All right.
I want to talk to you. I want to shoot for something that's like a 2.0 of you. And that all coming down into how we're going to align that energy resource.
Right.
So that conversation become important.
Okay.
Is to refocus how you're going to align the energy and get there. And then, of course, sitting down, you're distracted, then start doing something that's a little similar to that, but not exactly. So if you have to write a report, trying to do a little something related to the report and look into one particular area that you really want to focus on, and then you start writing on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you can't just expect that, in somewhere in the future, you can just sit down and write a report. That just does not happen. There's no preparations.
Right.
You haven't prepared your body. You haven't prepared your mind to get into that state.
Right. I wouldn't say this is a science-based protocol, but there are hacks that are actually now being researched on that is kind of like work for me, is maybe to achieve, like you rightly said, we live in a world where we're always seeking out for distractions or fears because, we just want to assess the threat, if that's going to harm us. Mm-hmm. Social media, phones, conversations happening next door, or a click on an iPad or whatever, or someone just waving at the other side, when you're having a conversation. These are all distractions. Something that has actually worked for me just recently is listening to the 40 hertz Binaural Beats.
Oh, yeah.
And I find it, because of the fact that I kind of live a high performance lifestyle with an objective to achieve so much for the time that I'm awake, I find that, dialing in or making a transition from a very distractive environment to a more focused state, the 40 hertz binaural beats work before. And maybe if I'm, again, in heightened states of distraction, if I can say.
Right.
I kind of listen to sometimes like the brown noise, the pink noise, or even white noise, as they say. And it seems to work.
Yes. And I do agree with you on that. And some people find that sound. Some people find smell.
Right.
Some people find just looking at something. So I would say find something that really works for you from that perspective, because you say binaural beats, and I actually use binaural beat only sometime.
Right.
And the other time I will use opera music.
Right. Wow.
Which is odd for me, right? Yeah. So some other people might find some other rock music that will work really well for them. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I would just kind of take that one step further. If people out there do really want to prepare for them to talk about getting into that focus state, there are devices, there are wearables. And I'm an engineer myself. I'm a big proponent to actually train it through a variety of sciencey gadgets. As a guy too. So I will use a device like this called Mandy. So it's like an apnea machine on your head. So what it does is to measure how much blood flow that is going through my forehead right now.
Okay.
And that is telling me, especially when I'm playing this game, it measured how much blood flow. That means how much focus can you get within that 5 minutes of a video game, 10 minutes of a video game. So you learn. It's like a controlled state of learning how to get into focus.
So you are learning to put yourself in states of focus. Do you get better by doing this?
Let's say you don't run. Then great. Go out to run that half a mile.
Right.
Or maybe like that 1/4 of a mile. Just try it out first, and afterwards you will feel better and you will feel better. Same thing. It's like in the very beginning, focus is a hard thing.
Right.
Because you haven't trained.
Right.
Literally, let's train.
Yeah.
And that's when I say, that makes it that much easier after you train it so many times. And you can do it once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. You can play with 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You can adjust the durations.
Right.